Welcome to the session. My name's Tim and welcome back to our Office 15-minute webinars, keeping IT simple. And today we're going to look at magic with our formulas in Microsoft Excel. Might sound a little bit weird, magic in Excel, but I kid you not, when I first saw these, two of these features back in 2013, I thought that yeah, Paul Daniels had been doing his magic stuff and whoever, because it is simply magic. You will not believe what Excel can do for you without the need to put any formulas in there. Here's the situation. Microsoft Excel has got a number of different built-in functions. These are very similar to my old calculator that I used to have at school, where you used to have all the built-in scientific calculator with all those built-in wonderful things that I never used, and all I did was add numbers up and divide them and subtract them, and yeah, that was pretty much it. These formulas, or on the formulas tab, this function library in Excel gives me all of these wonderful formulas that we can tap into. I confess I probably know about 50% of them if I'm lucky, but there's a lot of them in here for text. Now, I said I'm not going to mention any formulas or show them, but what I'm about to show you over the next few minutes, you could do if you wanted to using some of these text functions. There's something in here which says, I want to extract so many characters from the left-hand side of your text string. So give me the first 10 characters. I might want to convert something to lowercase. I might want to convert something to uppercase. You know, all these are built in. The only issue is you've got to know what you're doing to use them. So back in 2013, the clever people at Microsoft decided that it was time to bring the power back to the users, where they could just type in what they wanted. Sounds a bit weird, but it's true. If you look at my data in column A, I've got a list of names in there, but they are full names. Now, the only issue is I need to actually, you can see there's quite a few of them in there. I'll zoom back out, but there's, yeah, I don't know how many there is in there. Oh, we got 50 in there. Okay. Now, pointless to show you all 50, so I'm going to zoom back in a bit. I need to extract their names, so I've got their forename and their surname. So Adrian, and then Rogers, Billy, and Smith, and Dalton, and Roberts, because I need to do some sort of mail shot. I'm not going to send a letter out saying, Dear Adrian Rogers. I want to say, Dear Adrian, or Hi Adrian, Hi Billy. It's a lot more informal. So I've got to split that column. Again, on my data tab, there is a text to columns option. Go and have a look at it if you want to. However, all I'm going to do is type it in the way that I want it to be. So Adrian, that's how he spelled his name. There we go. I press enter. I want it with a capital letter, obviously, because that's what names are. And then I start to type Billy, and lo and behold, better than a rabbit being pulled out of a hat, it's actually guessing my data and saying, I can see a pattern emerging. Is this what you want? And if it is, I stop typing and I press enter. And hey presto, there we go. It's now extracted the first part of that name. I now want to extract the second part, which is Rogers. But for some bizarre reason, I've decided I want it in capital letters. So I type in Rogers in capital letters. I look at Billy Smith, okay, start to type it in capital letters, and it said, oh, hang on a sec. I can see a pattern emerging here. Is that what you want? If not, I'll carry on typing. But if that's what I want, I press enter, and all of a sudden, from 50 rows of data, I've got their first name and I've got their second name now. And I've got it in the actual uppercase and lowercase or mixed case, whatever I need for that particular name. And then the benefit of this is that this is not a formula. This is just as if you've typed it. The downside is, and there is a slight downside, if I was to go and change Adrian's name to Adele or whoever it is, yeah, then unfortunately it's not a formula. So it's not going to change. I would have to go through the process again. But as a one-off to just extract information, I'm quite happy to be able to do that. You could actually bring data together. So imagine that I didn't have their full name, but I do have their first name and surname. I need to create a full name. So I'm going to type it in how I want it to appear. Capital letter for Adrian. capital letter for Rogers. There we go, Adrian Rogers. I now start to type in Billy Smith, and all of a sudden it says, yeah, I can see what you're after, and it combines that data together. This is called flash fill. Okay, flash fill enables you to split data. It allows you to combine and join data. And if that's not magic, then I don't know what is. Just to finish off this one, in column B, I've got addresses on there for people in different countries. The thing is, the address is actually formatted and is separated by a comma. So I know I've got address part 1, address part 2, 3, and 4. I know that the last part of the address is the name of the country. So I'm going to type in Germany. I'm going to type in, well, I type in the first 3 letters and it says, oh, I can see a pattern emerging. Is that what you want? I press enter and it is. So there we go. Simply extracting and combining data together. Now, what about if I've got some other information like this, expenses? Okay, I've got column B here, which has got a mixture of information. It's got a number, then a space, then a 3-digit code, dash, a description, then the name of my rep. And I've got to work out what were the expenses for all of these people. But first of all, I've got to get John and Jenny and Bill out of that string. So I've got a column here called rep. I'm going to type in John. Okay. I'm going to type in Jenny. And it says, oh, okay. But there's one slight thing that is wrong. It's picking up Bill because somebody typed in Bill in lowercase. I want Bill to be in uppercase, but at the moment I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to press enter because I'm happy with that. I can see that John is also spelt incorrectly and Sally as in no capitals. But if I just go back in and I correct that first mistake that I can see, i.e. Bill, it then runs through the whole of that string again, and everybody has now been converted to an uppercase first character. So you can go on and on and on. If it doesn't get it right first time, give it a chance and go through again. My category is events, advertising, and I want it in capital letters. So there's my events. There's my, well, I only have to type in 2 letters. Now, the problem is if you carry on typing and you press enter and you think, oh, I've gone too far. And then you think, well, I'll get it back. I'll start to type digital marketing. Unfortunately, Excel just says, I gave you the chance. You're on your own now. You didn't want me in the first place. So why would you want me now? Don't panic. You've actually got 2 examples of what you need. So all I've got to do is go directly underneath the 2 examples. And then on my data tab, there is a button up here. It's got the Usain Bolt lightning flash on it because it is flash. And I click on flash fill. And when I do that, it looks at those examples, looks at my data, and it goes off and it re-evaluates if there was any common patterns that it can actually use in that data. So for me, flash fill, definitely magic and definitely a lot quicker to do things. The next one is called quick analysis. Quick analysis is like my personal PA. So for example, I've got an example open here. I've got some information about my sales data for different divisions, okay, different months up to July, August. I need some totals. Now, if you're aware of auto sum or you need averages, you're aware of average, then that's fine. But if you're not, I can simply highlight those numbers. And this little box appears in the bottom right-hand corner. It's called quick analysis. When I click onto that button, it gives me a whole selection of different things that I might want, including some conditional formatting. Maybe I want to shade my numbers, you know, relative to the highest number in that list, and then it will shade backwards. Maybe I want to put some icon sets on there or highlight my top 10% of numbers, and it's just doing it for me. Maybe I want to add some totals then, so I click onto totals. I can add a sum to the bottom of my numbers automatically. If you wanted the average, then choose the average. If you want to count how many numbers are in those columns, then I do a count. What about a percentage of the overall total? All I'm doing is moving the mouse, not a formula in sight. So I'm going to do sum. There's my sum at the bottom. I'm also going to sum up to the right hand side as well. So I'm going to get to totals, and again to the right hand side, sum, average, count, percentage of totals. I'm just going to click on sum. So all those have been given to me now simply from just highlighting it and doing my quick analysis. What about if I needed a chart? I mentioned in the marketing to this, yeah, create a chart. Yeah, charts are really easy now. So all I've got to do is select my data that I want to put in the chart. I'm not going to get my totals in there. And I get my quick analysis appear in the bottom right hand corner. When I click onto it, I'm going to get to charts, and it gives me a selection of possible charts. Now, I'm not suggesting that it gets it right first time, because it might not. But, you know, if you don't like what you can see, then I'm going to come back. If I get rid of my totals on here a second, and I get rid of my totals at the bottom, and we'll give it one more go. I'm going to select all of my data. We'll have a look at my quick analysis. We'll have a look at the charts. And then all of a sudden, it says, oh, okay, I can see a clearer picture now because you've got rid of your totals. Do you want to summarize your data by division? So it gives me the overall total for America, Australia, Canada, and Europe. I've got repetitive divisions in here. So it's actually creating a pivot table. Do you want to sum it up by division? Do you want to sum it up just for April? Do you want to sum it up for March? So it's giving me lots of examples of what I might want. So if I decide that I did want a sum for May, I'm going to click onto it, and hey presto, it creates me a chart in a pivot table. I can then go on and I can format it however I want to format it, make it look a bit better, but it's actually summarizing all of my data for me. And I don't have to do a thing except for clicking on the mouse. What about if I need to, let me have a look, what else would we need to do on this? I need a trend. So I want to know what my trend of sales are on here. I want a chart, but I don't want a big chart. I want a little chart in each of those cells. And if I zoom in on this a bit so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to click into the cell to the left of my data, and I'm going to go, well, I can get to my insert tab and I can choose Sparklines. However, because I know quick analysis will do this for me, all I've got to do is select all of my numbers again, get my little quick analysis, and tell it that I want to create a sparkline. Do you want it as a column or do you want it as a line? And what it will do, it will just give me a trend of data now. Let's zoom in a bit on it. There you go. That helps me to see what was good and what was bad based on the data to the left of it. If you want to go on and modify your Sparklines, you can click into it. You have a new tab, and in there you can actually change things like the color of the markers. My highest point is going to be green, and maybe my lowest point is going to be red. Just because it now stands out a bit better, I can see all the trend of data using my Sparklines, but they were created from my quick analysis. Now, the final thing that I want to show you is about analyze. Now, it used to be called ideas, and you can find it on your home tab. And there it is. It's called analyze data now. This is only available to 365 subscribers. The other two, flash fill and quick analysis, they're available since 2013 Excel. So since 2013 version, those first two are available. Analyze data is available to 365 subscribers. And what it means is that we can analyze our data in a similar way to the quick analysis, but we can talk to it in plain English. All I'm going to do is click into my data so it knows where the data is. I'm going to get to my analyze, and it comes up with some ideas. It's selected all my data now. It says, do you want to know the order total by the shipping charge? Again, I'm not saying it's going to get it right. Do you want to summarize your data again? Shipping charge by sales rep and order date? No, not really. Oh, this is quite good though. Do you want to sum up your shipping charge by sales rep? And if I do, all I say is insert a pivot chart, and very similar to what the quick analysis did, it creates a pivot chart and a pivot table for me now. And I can choose from the different formatting options how I want that information to be displayed. It's given me a whole gallery of how I might want that information. So if I go back to my analyze ideas, I know what I want. So I'm going to ask the question at the top here. It actually says, look, ask a question about your data. So I want to know top 5 orders, okay, by sales rep. I'm just using the headers. So I want to know my top 5 orders by sales rep. And when I do that, it comes up. Maybe it doesn't know what orders are because it's only got order date. So if I go across, oh, it should have been order total. Okay, so I want my top 5 order total by sales rep. Now I get a pivot table. It says here are all your sales reps, and here are all the totals for those sales reps. All I'm doing is talking to it using the column headings. And again, all I would say is insert pivot table, and I've got that information now. Let's try one other. It actually gives you some examples. Sort company by total order total. Show my total shipping charge by shipping date. Sort company by total. Again, top 5 orders by sales rep. It's giving me some examples of it. So I might want my order total by sales rep, excluding, so this is getting a bit fancy, excluding FLW. So all of a sudden now, look, it's actually generated that data for me, order total by sales rep, where sales rep is not FLW. Click on my pivot table. There it is. There's all my data summarizing totals in one go. Now, I know I've gone over a little bit, but if you've got time, I just want to show you one more thing. Back to Flashfill. Imagine that you're in the same company. Well, let's do it on this one. Okay. I just want to do an overall comment on this. Okay. So this is my grand finale. I reckon I could win Britain's Got Talent with this one, to be honest. But we'll give it a go and see how it is. All I need is a dancing dog behind me. Bit of magic. Yeah, what's not to like? So I'm going to put a bit of a comment in here, and it's got to say what was the total amount for a particular sales rep. So I'm going to say John in the, and what department was he in? The events, well, the events team. So John in the events team had, what was it, 1,300, but I want to put a pound sign in front of it because that's wrong. So I'm going to say pound 1,300. I'm going to round it up. Expenses, if that's how you spell expenses, okay? And there we go. So that was John. Jenny is my next one. Oh, okay. So Jenny apparently is in the advertising team. That looks right. And she had expenses of 1,830. So that looks as if it's found a pattern emerging, and all I do is press enter, and my report is now finished, all from just typing in a few things using my Flashfill. So there you go. Another 15 minutes or so. Yeah, not that much over, but hopefully you found a few things in there. Check out Flashfill, okay? Check out your quick analysis, and also check out the new analyzed data that was formerly known as ideas. It can save you time, all without a single formula inside. Catch you next time. Oh, I've just forgot. We've got to pick out the winner from my, if you're not aware of this, by the way, I'm going to pick a winner from, if you haven't subscribed to this, you can find this on my LinkedIn. I'll also put it in the chat panel. But if you subscribe to this, all you'll get is a reminder of what the 15-minute webinar is going to be next week. But you get put into a draw. And if I pick you out, you only have to subscribe once. You can always unsubscribe. You get 15 minutes one-to-one personal time with me. I don't know whether that's good or whether that's like second prize. I don't know. But that's what I'm offering. You can talk about anything Microsoft, Word, Excel, 365, Share. It's up to you. But you'll get 15 minutes, okay? So all I've got to do is go to my calculate options, and we're going to say, okay, tell me who the winner is. And there we go. So Morton, I'm not sure if you're on the call or not. It doesn't matter if you're not, but you get my one-to-one 15 minutes in the next 2 weeks, and we'll do the same next week. Thanks very much for joining me. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.